All right, Smudgy, are we ready to go? Smudgy, do you want to... Oh, there's a fly. Smudgy, that's because we leave the door open for you to come in and out of. And now we have a fly. And it's going to buzz around. I'm going to have to ask it to leave. Smudgy. Okay. Nope, you can't have my water. Smudgy. Smudgy wants to be on the table. Smudgy's sitting right next to you, Floss Tube. Smudgy wants to be a part of this. Okay, I like that. Well, that's me trying to set up for Floss Tube. Flies, cats. Let's see what else happens. But hello, everybody. Hello, Floss Tube. Hello, all my fellow creatives. Hello, cross stitches. Hey, everybody. Where you been? It's been ages. Okay, everybody, you're about to find out that this video is a complete mess. So much so, I even forgot to introduce myself. So allow me to do that now. My name is Margaret, and this is Maggie Lou Stitches, a channel all about cross stitch and my creative endeavors. And it's really funny looking back at this editing later and doing this voiceover. I can't help but point out for any of you who haven't noticed that hair that's sticking out on top of my head. Hilarious. You don't notice things like that when you're filming, and now that's all I can see. I've already looked once. There's lipstick on my teeth coming up later too. You've got that to look forward to. Anyway, it's a mess. Please enjoy. Thanks for watching. Back to it. Oh, Smudge is going to knock off the camera in a minute. You can't have my water. You've got your own water. You can't sit on my cross stitches. You can sniff at the camera. Little whiskers came in the shot there. Okay, so don't sit on my, okay. No, not on that one, darling. Not on this one. Oh, sweetheart. She's right in the middle of butterfly and she's getting really comfy. I know you really wanted to sit on that. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, hold on. Let me get something else for you. We'll just see what happens. Maybe she'll move. Anyway, look, it's been ages since I've been here. Well, it feels like that anyway. I always say I don't want to stick to a schedule, that I'm just going to come and film a Floss Tube when I feel so moved to do so. But I must admit, a couple of weeks ago, I was feeling a little bit, I was putting pressure on myself. It had been about a month and I was like, come on, do them roughly monthly. Like, come on, do one. So I filmed one a couple of weeks ago, and that was a bit of a lesson to me not to do that, because it wasn't right. I just sort of thought, why am I doing this when I don't feel like it, when I'm putting pressure on myself? And so I ended up not posting that. It didn't feel authentic. It just felt like a should rather than something I wanted to do. So I just waited, and this morning I do feel like it. So today's the day. And I've got a fair bit to show you. It has been an eventful, whatever it's been, 7 weeks maybe, I can't remember. Yeah. So obviously, you know, first update has been covered. Smudge is doing great. She's always the most important thing of this channel, I promise. So yeah, I do have lots to show you. Obviously, some of it is not all cross stitch, some of it is Zentangle, because let's go there first. Because I have finished my Zentangle piece that I was working on. Given it some good hours since we last saw each other. Now I'll try to put some pictures up here of the sequence of the sittings of doing this from the beginning until the end. Oh, but here is the finished Zentangle. I'll move it in and show you some of the finer bits. And I thoroughly enjoyed doing this one. Smudge is just getting really comfy on my cross stitches. Oh, you might get some entertainment as I try to remove those from her soon. So again, this is on a Zentangle Opus tile, and it's all freehand drawn with just some guidelines that I put down as pencil marks in the beginning, and using different tangles and black Sakura Micron pen, and then some graphite, some pencil shading, and that's it. That's how this is made. And gosh, I love doing them. I really do. And I think I've said this every time I've talked to you about them. I don't actually spend as much time anymore on Zentangle because of cross stitch, but it's not because I don't love doing them. I really do. Oh my goodness, this is going to be so interrupted because now my husband and son have just returned from a bike ride, and they're going to be in here needing to use the kitchen, which is right behind me, because they need to eat when they get back from a bike ride. So I've got smudge on my needlework. I've got the boys coming in from a ride. I can hear them actually talking about their ride. So I might pause here and be back when smudges off my stitching and when the boys aren't here. Okay, everybody, let's try this again. It's a few hours later. Everyone's in their own rooms. The cats have settled down, but then there was a loud noise outside, and Smudge just decided she's scared, so she's in and she's next to me. So, okay, I need to concentrate here. Oh, the garbage truck. God, I have smudge hair all over me now. Fantastic. That's always the look I'm going for. Now, onto cross stitch, or something else will get in the way and I won't be able to finish this, and I really want to. I've been really enjoying my cross stitch the last 7 weeks, but yet again I got a little bit obsessive and I think I did too much, and then I got a sore neck and a sore back, and I had to take about 5 days off, which is really interesting because before that 5 days I'd done so much that I was really ahead on my butterfly project, but there's no point in getting ahead if you injure yourself and then have to take time off, which eats up all the time you just got ahead. Now Smudge is eating her biscuits. Please excuse a crunching noise in the background. Anyway, during that time, I embarked on new projects. Suddenly, out of nowhere, one day, I just found it absolutely imperative that I do a pride stitch. I just suddenly thought, why aren't I doing one? I want to do one. I came out to my daughter and said, I want to do a pride stitch. She said, good on you, okay. I said, come on, let's sit at the computer together and look at different pride patterns, and we'll work on one. We'll work out which one together. I say that because Jilly identifies as queer, and I am a proud queer ally, obviously. And so we sat together, and I thought I was going to do quite a large project. But then when I saw this project, I'll put it here, I'll put a picture here. Yeah. I just saw that. I saw that goose and I just went, that's the one I've got to do. I want to stitch a goose with a pride flag. Suddenly, very, very much. By fine frog stitching, isn't it? Yes. But the other thing is, I was cleaning up, because I wasn't stitching, I was cleaning up my stitching area, and I was I had bought a few more DMCs, and so I was putting them in, and I did a reorganization of all my flosses, and in doing that I just thought, I'm just going to do this from whatever I've got. I'm not going to buy any more flosses. I'm just going to do it from InStash, and same with the fabric. So all I had for this was why don't I show you? Look at this guy. That is my little pride goose. And obviously, for those of you who watched from the beginning in episode 1, I talked about Inspiration Goose, which was a watercolor painting of a goose that artist Nadine Dudek did, and that inspired me to start cross-stitching again, because I suddenly thought, what would that look like in cross-stitch? So here's my Inspiration Goose, and now I think I've got a thing for geese, because, well, I must have, because look at this guy. So anyway, I was going to do a much more refined version of this guy, but I had 25 count Linda cloth, And I just had it and I thought, oh, I'm going to use that. So it's not quite as refined, like the coverage isn't quite as good as I'd like. But actually in the end, I just think it's perfect because he's a proud goose. It doesn't matter, does it? Anyway, so yay, a fully finished object. And I can't show you because I've got it in, but I even laced it. I did a proper, yes I did. I did a proper framing of this by myself. I think because I want to do more of that. Anyway, that's that. There was another new project I started. Yeah. And this one is thanks to Pam at Ditsy Daisy Crafts, who I think it was back in her June video. She showed a free pattern that was available by Cute Patterns by Maria on her Facebook group. And I just liked the look of that pattern so much. I went and downloaded it straight away, thinking I'm going to do that. And then in this day that I was taking a break, I suddenly went, I've got that pattern. Same thing, I've got all the things I need. I'm just going to work on that from stash. So I have made a start on that. And that is this. This is a 32 count lavender even weave that I got from my other project. Sorry, Smudge wants to come back. She's okay. She's settled behind the camera. I think we're going to be okay. So for my earbuds project, I had this fabric, and so I still had some left. So I thought, well, I'm going to just do this on that. I'm not using the called for. I'm just converting with whatever I've got in my DMC collection. So that's a start. It's okay, Smudgy. The garbage truck's come again and she's scared. She's only 11 and has been going through the garbage truck every week for her entire life. So it's obviously very scary. It's okay. I'll just pause for a moment. She's, okay, no. It's so hard for me to concentrate. So that's Summer Nights by Cute Pattern by Maria, and that's my start. So look at me go with these multiple projects. I've done my Pride Goose, I've done this one, and there's one more. And this is a finish as far as the stitching goes, but not a fully finish. And I'll talk to you about that. Okay, so this is my earbuds pattern by Ink Circles. I wish I could have multi-directional cameras so that you could see what Smudge is doing at the moment. She's like meerkatting out the window. And she's just like, oh, because there's a dog now. Okay. All right, so I finished the MP3 player. And what I decided to do for the headphones, I did them in white, but I've also outlined them with this green color. Oh, is that showing? I can't tell if it's showing or not. I can't. Things look different. Anyway, I'm just gonna keep going. I'm just gonna keep talking about it. And it was quite purposeful. I think I told you at the beginning that I chose a purple color because that is the color of BTS, and I am ARMY, the fandom of BTS, so I wanted it to represent my love of BTS. But one of the other groups I like is NCT, in all their variations. NCT 127, NCT Dream, NCT Wish, and WayV. And their colour is Neo Champagne, which is that green colour that I've lined it with. So that's why I added that. Now, so that's the MP3 player. Next is the little album covers that get stitched separately and put on a magnet, and so that you can sit it in the MP3 player as if you are playing it, to represent playing it, I guess. So let me show you those album covers. On a 40 count, so that too was a 30 count. Oh, Smudge wants to sit on Butterfly again. I can't let her. She got really cranky at me before when I took it off her. Come to Butterfly in a minute. Sit down, darling. All right, let's have a look at these album covers. They're teeny tiny. And I'm going to go through it and I'm going to show you each one and put up a picture of what the actual album cover looks like. My daughter Jilly drafted these for me, and she picked out the colours of DMC to use, and then I stitched them. So they're very tiny. This first one is the BTS album, Never Walk Alone. This second one is the NCT Dream album, Hello Future. This next one is the Boy Next Door album, How. This next one, this is one of my favorites. This is the BTS album, Map of the Soul. This is the TXT album, Blue Hour. This is the Close Your Eyes album, Eternaut. That's a very new album, and I was really glad they did an album. It's really, really good, but I was really glad they did an album that lent itself to cross stitch, because obviously I had to pick album covers that lent themselves to this. Here is this one. Let me see if I can show you. This was actually a mistake. Each album is 10 by 10. This one I accidentally only did 9 by 9, but I've cut it out and I've covered it with Mod Podge, which is what to do. I've done about 4 layers of Mod Podge, which stiffens and seals it, and then cut it out, and that's what I'm going to be sticking a magnet to. This was my test piece because it was a mistake. This is a 17 album called Carrot, as in the carrot of a diamond, not the carrot vegetable. So I'm going to do this again properly with 10 by 10. I don't know how I messed it up with 9 by 9. But anyway, so that's sort of my prototype, I guess. And then the last one is NCT 127 album Sticker. It's not showing very well, but anyway, you believe me. So they're the album covers we've done so far. This is the process I'm about to do with them all, is Mod Podge them, make them a bit stiffer, get some magnets, which are coming in the mail. I've actually, I think I'm going to use, I'll show you. This is a whiteboard that is fully magnetized that you just stick to the fridge. So I bought this, and this is what I'm going to use. No. Okay, Smudge is coming on my lap again. Hi. I know you want to sit in these, on these. Yeah, I'm sorry, baby, you can't. That's okay. Yeah? You can settle down there. You okay? I know. It's been very stressful. You're doing real good though. Okay, so I'm going to cut this to size. And use it as a frame. Put a square frame in here, and that is what the magnets, oh, it's upside down, you get me. That's how I'm going to do it. It's been a bit of a nightmare figuring that out. I mean, the instructions tell you how to do it. They tell you to get a steel sheet from a hardware supplier, and I did go and look at the hardware stores, and all the steel sheets were like too big, and I would have had to cut them down, and they weren't as thin as I would like, and they were a bit more expensive, and what was I going to do with a spare steel sheet around? It just didn't, it wasn't quite right, so I was trying to think of something else. And I've gotten this far with it, but we're going to see, you know, I've still got to bring it home. I've still got to finish the whole process, and we'll see how we go with that. So that is my Zentangle, my one fully finished project, and 2 new starts. So like I've been doing lots of stitching is what I'm trying to say. I'm so distracted. All right, now the final one that I'm going to talk about before I move on today is my butterfly, which is still my absolute favorite. We are at 57%. Let's have a look at 57% worth of butterfly. How good is she looking? I'm so happy with the progress. And I just rocketing along. 57%, I've made some really good. I think I've done 10% since and that's even with the break because my shoulders and neck got too sore. So I'm very happy with that. Onward, I will continue with that and whatever other projects I decide to do at the time. Like, it's so, just when I call myself, you know, a monogamous stitcher, the next day I'll be like, no, I'm not, and I'll do new projects. And then when I do too many, I'll be like, this is ridiculous. I don't want too many. I'm gonna just be a monogamous stitcher. And then I'm like, oh, what's that? I guess what we're witnessing here is the floss tube effect. Speaking of floss tube, oh my God, you know what? I've been so distracted. I was actually going to start with this today, and I'm not getting there till later in the video. Doesn't matter. Because what I was going to say, I have found a new floss tuber who I'm adding to my absolute favorites list. Honestly, I have enjoyed this new floss tuber so much that I insist you all go and watch. She's new to floss tube. She's new to cross stitch. And I don't want to give spoilers because I think part of the fun of watching her videos is the unfold of it, the reveal. But she has a really interesting origin story of how she started cross stitch and of her continuing story of cross stitch. And all I'll say is she has a benefactor. And that is making for such an interesting story. I will say code word bonbon. So for anybody who does go and watch it, by all means, come back in my comments and just say the word bonbon. And you and I will both know we've watched it. I laughed out loud so many times in these videos. Have I said who it is? What a joke. Her name is Amy, and she is the disobedient housewife. And she's only got 3 videos out at the time of my recording this. The first one is about as chaotic as this one has been for me, actually. It's such chaos, and I'm here for it. It was so funny, but such a good way to introduce her video. And then the second one is equally funny and goes more in depth in things that she talks about in the first. Just go and give a warm welcome to Amy. Last time I looked, the algorithm hasn't found Amy yet, and I don't know why. And I'm kind of like feeling sort of pleased that the algorithm showed it to me and I clicked play, because just fabulous stitching, fabulous personality, fabulous style of presenting, everything good. Amy, the disobedient housewife, on my list of faves. So I hope you enjoy. Look, that's it. That's it. I've got to get out of here before... Actually, Smudge is settled now on my lap. Of course she has. She's settled. So actually, why don't we just stay and chat? If I stay and chat, will that make you want to get... Oh. Before I know it, more people will be coming into this room. I used to film religiously on a Sunday morning when my husband and son go on their long rides. I mean, every ride they do is long. Okay, the cat's gone. No chatting. But anyway, I've tried something different today by not choosing a Sunday, and it's all gone to pot. So I don't know what else to say other than thank you for watching. Thank you for letting me tell such a disjointed story about my stitching for the last little while. I'll see you again next time, but for now, you go enjoy your stitching. I'm going to enjoy all of mine, and I look forward to coming back next time and showing you some more finishes, some more progress on butterfly. Oh, and sneaky little teaser, and I've got a new kit coming. So I look forward to showing you that. Stay well. Thanks for watching. Come say hi in the comments. Till I see you next time. Bye.